Priests and youth ministers go together like peanut butter
and jelly.
Hey guys, good to have you here with us today, and I have my good friend Father Nevitt here.
Glad to be back.
So you might remember him from the retreat series, part 1, 2, and 3 from season 1. So if you haven't checked it out, go back and look at it. And we get 3 episodes with him, and now we have a 4th one. So good to have Father back with us. And we are talking today about how priests and youth ministers are complementary to each other, just like peanut butter and jelly. They just go well together. And so we're going to give you some of the ways that they go well together and are complementary, and also what you can do when a priest maybe isn't working so well with the youth minister.
Yep.
Okay, so first, complementary. We have to look at who youth ministers are and who priests are and what they do separate. So what do priests do?
Yeah, so both youth ministers and priests are in the business of bringing people to Jesus. That's what we do, but we do it in different ways. As a priest, I'm blessed to give the sacraments, especially on a regular basis, the sacraments of Eucharist and reconciliation to many parishioners. But it's a great privilege of me when I get to see the youth at Mass, when I'm hearing confessions of a young person. It's a great blessing. And that would be a great way that priests can bring Jesus to young people.
Yeah, and as youth ministers, we get to work regularly with the youth. We get to share with them. A lot of times we are involved in their lives, like attending events that they're a part of, that they invite us to. Maybe it's a soccer game or a show that they're in. We get to hear a lot of intimate conversations with them quite often about things going on in their life. We know them personally. We get to work with them regularly on a regular basis, get to know them, get to befriend them in a way as a mentor, as a role model, as a leader of them in the faith, and just have a different relationship with the youth that is more of a connection with them, that is, again, a mentor-like base, rather than a priest who is leading them in those sacraments that a youth minister just can't do.
Yeah, and we even have different views of the parish from different angles, if you will, which is a great reason that the priest and youth minister needs to work together. As a priest, every Sunday, I'm up front, I see who's at Mass. I might see, hey, here's this young person coming by himself or herself. Hey, here's this great family coming every week and they have high school aged kids. And I can see all of that, and I can make it a point after Mass to get out, to shake their hand, to introduce myself, to ask them if they're going to youth group or not. Kari might have a different view of the parish from her perspective.
Yeah, and I actually get to talk to the kids and see them on a regular basis coming to youth group. And a lot of times I'll ask them, are you going to Mass? And if you're not, lead them to that and show them there is more to our youth group than just youth group. There's actually Mass that you should be going to and developing in your Catholic faith. So now we're leading them to the priest.
So within a youth ministry program, within a parish, you have kids that have never heard of youth ministry, but they come to Mass every week. You have young people who are regulars at youth group who maybe aren't going to Mass. And just by working together, the priest and the youth minister, it's so much better to bring the fullness of our faith to these young people.
Yeah, and also a lot of times as youth ministers, you get to kind of know those kids well and see what is going on in their life. So there might be one who you truly think would do well with discernment of the priesthood or religious life, and now we can lead them to the priest. And the priest also, again, can lead us to some of those youth that aren't connecting in. So again, complementary priest and youth ministers, which really work well together. So what happens when youth ministers and priests aren't working so well together? Maybe the priest just doesn't have the time to be involved or doesn't have the desire to be involved, but yet you as the youth minister really do want them involved. It's a struggle sometimes. I've been blessed to be able to have a priest at my parish, actually my pastor, who always works with our youth on a regular basis, and I've been blessed to see the benefits of that. I know it works so well, and it really does allow the youth to see the priest as a human being, not just as the man on the altar who every week gives them Jesus. And that's what truly the priesthood is. It is a human being who is sharing their life with the Lord in an intimate way, but also sharing it with us. And we want to see that happen in our youth ministry programs and the youth to feel comfortable around priests. So how do we do that? What happens when they don't want to? Well, first I want to say, invite them in different ways, not just maybe to kickball tournament or dodgeball tournament, other ways that we can invite them, Father.
So every priest has his strengths and weaknesses. Some priests are great preachers. Some priests really feel like they relate well to young people. Others feel like they relate better to older people or the sick. No matter who they are, though, we know that it's important for the priests to be involved with the young people of the parish. So say, as you invite the priests to get involved, do so in specific ways. Maybe he loves the scriptures. Invite your pastor to come and lead your youth in a Bible study. Maybe you just want to have adoration and all you need him there for is to expose the Blessed Sacrament and repose the Blessed Sacrament. Ask your priest to do that. Maybe you want to have confessions because it's Lent and you've just talked about, the power of that sacrament. Ask your priest, say, Father, we really need you to be here on this day and hear confessions if you're able to make it. Talk to him and figure out where that relation is. He might not show up to the open invite meetings. He might not show up to the kickball meetings, but on those occasions where a priest's presence is necessary, I hope that your priest, your pastor would rise to the occasion and be there for you.
Yeah, so use those avenues to invite them. Again, if ideally they can't come to just the open-ended, come to the youth group, it meets on such and such night, then use those little avenues of invitation to bring your pastor in or to bring your parish priest in. And if that doesn't work, we have to be respectful of our priests and their time, their availability, what they're willing to do, what they're not willing to do. So again, if that doesn't work, you can look in other places to bring in clergy. Are there any local priests that you can invite to your youth group to maybe come on a semi-regular basis or even a regular basis? If they are not available in your parish or even again in your local parishes, is there a deacon that is willing to come? A lot of times there's really young deacons who are willing and able and really enthused about coming to a parish youth group and being involved in it. So is there a deacon around? If there's not a deacon around, possibly within your parish, is there a seminarian who is available? Yeah. If any of these people are available, priests, other priests, clergy members such as deacons, or even a seminarian, invite them to come and to share and witness to the faith in that way. Because in some small way, they are still doing what you are hoping to do, again, with the ideal of having your parish priest around, but what is the next best thing? So those are just some tips that we can share with you about bringing the priest involved in the youth ministry and how you can make that work, because it is a blessing to have our priest around. If you're a priest watching this, thank you for your service to our church and to our young people, because it is truly needed. Father, thank you for all you've done for the young church, because it is needed. Because we know as youth ministers, our goal is to bring them closer to the church and in turn closer to the Lord by touching the hearts and souls of the youth. So God bless and thank you so much for watching.
Thanks.